Hey guys, Moshe the Electric Israeli on FSD with another FSD drive. It's not quite evening yet, but it's getting there. I do enjoy very much making these videos for you when it's dark. It's really majestic. So while my car is going to take me home in the next 21 minutes, I wanted to talk to you, and I said that in videos before. I want to discuss with you the impact that the FSD technology is going to have on work, on labor. Okay, I was thinking to include eventually the robots, the humanoid robot. That's a totally huge, big issue. But let's take a look at this one. What happens when robotaxis, autonomous cars, which exist already through Waymo, but what happens to work, to humanity during if this happens? Well, let's consider few impacts. And impact number one would be, in my opinion, would be on car ownership. Really, car ownership is going to be really not eliminated, but reduced significantly, because there will be no need. I can tell you right now, I have two young sons, and they basically could care less about car ownership. They just want to, they have a car because I gave them a car because we went to college and whatever. But let's say those cars are going to be sold because they're too old and whatever. Once that happens, they will never buy a car. They take Ubers and all that. So car ownership will be reduced significantly. Now, not in every country, obviously. Countries that will embrace this new technology. So no drivers. No car ownership. Well, no car ownership. How does big cities and municipalities make money on cars? Obviously, insurance is going to be impacted. Mechanics, obviously, well, they're already impacted by the reduced need for maintenance in electric cars. But think about tickets, okay? How much money municipalities makes on giving people tickets, speeding tickets, parking tickets, all kinds of tickets. They make a boatload of money on that. Okay, so the insurance industry, the municipality, I call it. Think about parking lots. If cars like this, here I am, you saw the car doing a U-turn inside the parking lot, okay, to go on this direction. If there is no need for parking lots because these cars are driving around, then going to a charger, they charge themselves wirelessly, or there's somebody there, like in a concierge or attendant, who's charging these cars, like in Waymo. I'm sure somebody is doing the charging. Then their need for parking lots is going to be reduced significantly. So what are you going to do with these parking lots? Well, you can build more apartments for low-income people or high-end or whatever. This may be parks, maybe things like this. So we sometimes have to think about what it's going to do. So just off the top of my head, insurance companies, mechanics, obviously, parking lots, okay? Income for municipalities from just ticketing people, and parking lot taxes, revenues, okay? So that is like just off the bat. Now, what happens to drivers, okay? What happened to all these Uber drivers? How are they going to make money? Well, okay, I'm very fortunate to have this car. I'm going to let it drive by itself, and I'm going to have it make me passive income. Well, that's great. So a lot of taxi drivers who paid for their license or whatever, well, eventually, maybe with some government help and whatever, they can transition from a driver to owning an autonomous car. I tell you an example. I had a month and a half ago. I was in Israel, and then I took a cab from Tel Aviv to the airport, to the Ben Gurion airport, and I had this exact conversation that I'm having with you right now with the cab driver. And he said, "So what am I supposed to do?" I said to him, "Tell me something. How many hours a day do you drive?" He said between 10 and 12. I said, how about your car, your taxi, your cab is driving this for you, making you money, as much money as you make now, and you are at home, or you go to the beach, or you spend time with your family, and you do your hobby, and whatever it is. He's like, I didn't think about it this way. I said, you can still drive if you like. You can still sit in it and drive it if you like, but you don't have to. So this is like a huge, total different economy. Now, the humanoid robots, they're gonna, listen, look how many things ChatGPT did. Humanoid robots, it's a different topic, but just this quote unquote small topic, really quote unquote, look what it will be, the impact of it on people and on towns and cities and income and all that. Now, I want to say one very interesting thing. Not only this, also LLMs, okay, language, ChatGPT, Grok, and all that. You know, I have a son in college. He has a lot of learning issues and all that. And really, ChatGPT and Grok is like saving so much time of it. He still has to write his papers. He still has to do this, but everything had to do with research and summaries. And remember when we were in college back in the day, we used Cliff Notes, those yellow ugly books, and all that. It's like kids like him probably would never be able to finish college, but he can finish it by having like a personal tutor, okay, that helps him with research and all that. So think about the language models. Think about self-driving cars. Think about humanoid robots. What will happen? How is economies are going to look like? So I personally am never afraid of new technology. I don't think humanity ever resisted a new technology. That's never going to happen. Okay, when the wheel was invented, the ancient people didn't say, okay, let's just keep picking stuff up on our shoulders. What do we need to use a wheel for? Okay, you always embrace new technology. When the cars came out, people said, I'd rather drive a horse, ride a horse than drive a car. It's not going to happen. And new jobs came up, and new things came up, and things like that. So I always believe that innovation is always going to solve problems. But the idea of universal basic income, in my opinion, is going to evolve to abundance income. Not universal basic income. It's not going to be basic. It's going to be abundance, because there are going to be no issues with shortage of labor. In the United States today, there is a shortage of labor of about 500,000 people. Okay, and that will not be a thing anymore. That will not be a thing anymore. Governments, I'm obviously from the Middle East. Countries in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and others, they have a stipend for their citizens that basically they don't even have to work because of the petrodollars. Okay, now it's different, but for years and years and decades, you just got paid by the government because that's so much money and no taxes and all that stuff. So what I'm saying, something like that would say, people, humanity is doing so great. There's no inflation. There's abundance. You can get whatever you want. Here is, I don't know, $100,000 a year per couple, and depends how many kids you have. And then you can really do whatever it is that you want. I love this. I love creating contact. It's very hard for me because I work full time, and I need to find time to do it, and and editing. It takes. I love creating contact. I love tutoring. I love teaching. I love traveling. I really love nature. My wife and I, and all that. We'll be able to do these things. I like to connect with communities. I like to play music. I'm an amateur musician. I can go every week play with in a music club, but sometimes I skip. I'm too tired and this and that. I could dedicate to that. People will find many more meaningful things than to dedicate yourself to an office for 8-9 hours to do things that you not necessarily like to do. And this technology, whether it's physical or language model, can create a completely and totally different world. That's what I'm saying. And it's going to be very interesting times. And let me tell you, my prediction is going to happen much faster than we think. Much faster. I'm old enough to remember the rotary phone, the pay phone, the Nokia phones, the flip phone, and then what iPhone, the smartphone, did and changed the world completely. I remember I was a student when the internet was invented. Okay, I went to college much later in life because I was in the military. So it was so incredibly fast, and the world didn't end, and people still work. So, like, what would I do? I will do things that I really love, because I will not have to worry about money, because there's going to be plenty of it because of this technology. Mark my word, I'm telling you. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and here's a word from my sponsor. Hey guys, Moshe the Electric Israeli here with my Tesla Model Y Juniper launch model. These are the cross-flow caps, okay, rim covers that come with the Tesla. They're very nice, but as you know, if you own a Tesla car, you know all about the curb rash, okay? Because if you see here, in almost every Tesla rim cover, it doesn't cover all the way, okay? See, it gets all the way here. So that's why you get curb rash. Let me show you one. Here it is, here's one, okay? Curb rash, this is just happened. So I got these beautiful hubcaps cross flow from EV Base, my sponsor. If you use my code, I'm going to put it in the video, you can get up to 10 or 20%, depends on the season. They're really great. I already installed one. Look at that. You can also order the Tesla sticker if you'd like to put it. I like it this way. It's really, really nice. It's very easy to install. So I installed one. Let me show you a trick of how to get the Tesla covers, because they're a little bit tricky. Okay, there's one here in front of me. Okay, see, I took it out already. I can keep it. I'm going to keep it as a spare for whatever reason. Maybe I can sell it, but these are really nice and aggressive. So let me show you how to do this. Okay, I'm right in front of the caps, the actual Tesla ones, the cross flow. Now I took a little screwdriver, because they you can't just rip them out. So it's still difficult. So basically, you just stick it right here, and then you just watch your fingers. Then it will pop. Okay, it will pop just like this. Watch. Okay, it pops. So you do like 2 or 3 of them in the top, and then the whole thing comes up. Otherwise, it's not easy to take out. I can tell you that. It's not easy to take out. Okay, then you take another one, and if you feel like it, you can take another one. So this way you can absolutely pop them out, and it's easy. See, you get 3, and then you just pop it out like so. Now you get the new wheel cover. That is very easy to install. You see, it comes in this bubble wrap. You take it out like this, and then you make sure you find the air pipe. Okay, right here you align it, and it's easier to install, much easier to install, like it's one piece. You make sure it's in. That's it. Now, here we go. Now, this is cover. You see, so the curb brush will not go on the top of the rim. It's covered. Okay? So here it is. You see? It is covered. The whole rim is covered. Now the rim is protected. Let me show you here. The rim is covered. The rim is protected, as opposed to what we had before. Let me show you on the other side again. See? Here the rim is not protected. See that? There is nothing, so you get all these curb rashes. All right? You want to protect your beautiful car, right? So go ahead, go to EV-Base website, use my code TEI, the Electric Israeli, and you get some nice discounts. Okay? Thanks.